Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Small Business Big Stories podcast. On this episode, I get to speak to an incredible woman who inspires people through language and has built an incredible business based on that. She tells me a little bit about her amazing relationship with her daughter and how she balances it all, being a mother, being a businesswoman, while also balancing a 9 to 5. So stay tuned, and you're really in for a treat with this one. Hey, Laura. So good to have you on. I'm so excited.
Thank you for having me, Brittany.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm really excited to have you on and excited to hear about your business. We've talked briefly before, and I know a little bit about it, but this is actually going to be sort of an episode where I learn a little bit more about your business and a little bit more about you. And yeah, you are going to do a better job of this than I will. So I'm going to pass it over to you. You let everyone know who you are and what you offer in your business.
Sure, thank you. Yes, my name is Laura. I am the owner of Laura's Language Lounge. So I teach English as a second language to adult learners, mainly about conversational English with a focus on pronunciation. I do primarily right now individual classes, so private classes, so one-on-one, and also I will be doing in the future group classes. So that's me in a nutshell.
That's amazing. So,
Yeah.
Laura's Language Lounge.
Yes.
Say that 5 times
I
fast.
know, right?
No, I love that. I really love that because it sort of like directly relates to what it is that you offer. Like just saying that in and of itself is such like a cool way to play around with language.
Yes, absolutely. Triple
Yeah.
L. I had to add it. Had to flow.
So when did you start this business? Why? Like what was that aha moment where you're just like, this is something that I feel like I need to offer personally?
That's a very interesting question because it started a little unorthodox.
Okay.
So years ago, I had accompanied a friend of mine to court, actually. I tell you it's unorthodox, it is. Um, and I was supporting her there. And I remember going in there, and one of the trials that was actually in session, it was a domestic case. So it was really emotional. Um, it was a wife and a husband who were having some troubles, and there was a domestic matter there that they were dealing with in court. What stuck out to me with this particular case was that the woman, you could see she was alone. She didn't have any family or friends there supporting her. Furthermore, she needed an interpreter. She wasn't able to articulate what had happened to her during this incident with her husband. So I felt that seeing her there alone and not able to tell her own story was an aha moment for me, because it was like, I can't even imagine not being able to speak for myself,
Hmm.
right? So just possibly giving just being assumptuous, perhaps she was new to the country, and alone because of that. And her having somebody, it was a male party, telling her story for her, how small that made her feel,
Yeah.
right? Um, I really felt for her. And it was at that point that I had decided that I want my purpose to be to help other people to be able to articulate how they're feeling, effectively communicate what it is that they're feeling, and to be able to tell their story, right? And advocate for themselves.
Absolutely.
Um, so I know it sounds really weird, but that's how my story started with the pursuit of teaching English as a second language. And I went through the processes to be able to do that. And from there, that was my inspiration.
Yeah, that doesn't sound weird at all. I literally have the chills. That is such a profound story. And I feel a lot of people can relate to that because we live in Canada and we are amongst such a diverse community in Toronto. I think a lot of people can relate to that and
Right.
not being able to, and especially in a court setting too.
Yeah.
A lot is on the line in that regard.
Yeah.
But even things as simple as like being able to ask for something in a
Yeah.
grocery store or in any sort of retail store, or when you go to the doctor's office,
Right. Right.
making just simple decisions like that, and being in a new country,
Right.
it can be so overwhelming. So being able to provide such an incredible service is like, it's essential. I feel like what
Yeah.
you offer is essential. It's not just, somebody's small business.
Right, right. It's setting people up for their lives in Canada, in Toronto, right? Being able to communicate, being able to show off your skills and your abilities, right? A lot of the clients that I work with are professionals in their fields,
Yeah,
right? These aren't small scale people, right? So to be able to help them to show what they're able to do is truly an honor and a privilege to be able to work with them. Yeah.
absolutely. You bring up a really good point too. And this is something that has frustrated me for a really long time.
Mm.
When you say that you speak and your clients, a lot of them are professionals where they come from.
Yes.
And then a lot of times they come to a new country like Canada and they're unable to use those skills that
Yes.
they have,
Yeah.
that they already have.
Yes.
So that is frustrating in and of itself.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of flyers and a lot of commercials address this now,
Mm-hmm.
where they're now offering more services. I don't know if it's through the government, but they're offering more services and bringing more awareness to this fact
Yes.
of a lot of professionals coming from different countries, unable to use their skills when they come here.
Right. Right.
And like I said, I think having such a service like yours
Mm-hmm.
will contribute so positively to people in these predicaments, because I mean, it's fortunate and unfortunate that you have to become accustomed to the life and the language and the lifestyle and the culture of a new country when you come to a country.
Right.
And one of
Right.
those things is learning the mother tongue, learning the language.
Right. Right.
Uh, and I think that, having a solution to that barrier is again opening up opportunities for these professionals.
Yes.
You,
Absolutely.
you feel as though you come across clients where, having English is something where they just say to you, you know what, this is going to make a tremendous impact on what I decide professionally to do in this country.
Absolutely. Some of my clients, we do have a system in place in Canada where you can get free language lessons through the Link program. So it aligns residents to be able to get English classes and help with their fluency and helping with jobs and things like that. But you have to be a resident in order to do so,
Yeah.
right? So there are some people who are in limbo, so they don't necessarily qualify to be able to take these classes, or they're in a position where don't necessarily need the link programs because they're very proficient in English. Say that 10 times fast. Proficient in English, but they just need a few things that they need to clean up in terms of the pronunciation, right? So yeah, so I do offer the opportunity for both types of clients to come to me and get help with gaining that confidence that they need to be able to present themselves in the workforce how they want to showcase their skills. Absolutely.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Now, some of the programming that you put into place, is it primarily conversational English, or is it like, do you have to focus in on grammatical, more of like a grammatical lesson?
Yeah.
Or like I said, is it more applicable to conversation and how you sort of had to interact in the real world?
So my lessons are, I started primarily with conversation.
Okay.
I did that because I felt that a lot of people were looking for that that need to practice. Right? They needed a sounding board. Am I saying this right? What happens if they say this? What do I say next?
And that practical application.
Practical application, absolutely. Yeah. So that's how I started, but it doesn't separate from the other aspects of language either. So with that does come grammar. With that does come pronunciation and fluency and all of that great stuff. So I do a little bit of everything, but I primarily focus on the conversation piece. For example, if we're talking about families, right? So just understanding the family structure, right? Something as simple as that. So you have your nuclear family with your mother, father, children, 2.5 kids, right? And then, okay, but that's not the only family structure. You have your extended family, you have your in-laws, you have your cousins, your nieces, your nephews. Sometimes people live in generational homes. So just terms like that, bringing those up, and so people are aware of them. So when you're in conversations like this with your colleagues or when you're making new friends, these are words that are become familiar to you and you can incorporate in your conversations as well.
That's incredible. Yeah. I find, and I think I've heard too, English is one of the hardest languages to learn.
It is.
Because we have so many little nuances, so many things that just don't seem to make sense.
Yes.
Unless you have like lived, breathed, and were born into the language.
Yes.
Have you come across situations where some clients are just like, okay, but that doesn't make any sense?
And I totally agree with them. I'm not gonna lie. I've told my clients so many times, but this doesn't make sense. I know. Just go with it.
It's this language, I know.
It's the language. It's a beautiful language. It's a complex language. It's a universal language, right? Yeah. People who like to travel, right? Whether you're going to, even if you're going to Brazil, or if you're going to Mexico or anywhere in Europe, English is spoken. It may not be the main spoken language of that region, but if you're traveling, I guarantee you one person in that hotel speaks English.
Yes.
Right? So a lot of people learn English for different reasons. Travel would be one of them, as well as for work, like you said, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure in your situations too, this allows you to learn about other people's culture and other people's language as well.
Yes. As a history major.
That makes total sense.
Yes. Although I focused on a little bit more on Caribbean history, just to learn about my own culture, but history in general, I absolutely love. but yes, I've learned so much about different cultures and religions. Most recently was Lunar New Year. So speaking with some of my clients who are from China, just talking about the traditions around there and learning about the Year of the Ox, which apparently I am. That's my
Oh,
year. So it's going to be a great year for me. I'm really excited. But yeah, just learn this cultural exchange is amazing. I absolutely love it. And living in Toronto, that goes hand in hand. So it's
I absolutely. That's why
great.
I love living in the city.
Yes.
I, you soak so much in, and you have these neighborhoods. Like I was in the Kensington Market area earlier today, right at like
Nice.
Spadina, and you just feel like you're in a whole other world,
Right.
and you
Right.
get to see the culture just very much expressed visually, through smell
Yeah.
and just the
Food.
amazing aromas, and see the food. And that's what I love. Like you
Yes,
find these
I love the
pockets in
food.
Toronto.
Yeah, it's fantastic. The food, the culture, the colors, the traditions, the celebrations. What do they mean, right? Why do you celebrate this? What's the significance of it, right? I love it. It's part of one of the best parts about teaching, to be quite honest.
Yeah,
When I speak with some of my clients, they'll mention something that's familiar to me. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I know about that. They're like, you know about that? I'm like, yes. Like you teach me. Like I've had students from your background before. They've told me about it. It's really interesting. It's like this is not learning just for you. This is learning for me too. Right? It's an
absolutely.
exchange, right? So it's great. It's amazing. I love it.
Absolutely. And I think that's the best part of having your own business is that it's an ongoing learning experience. People see
Yes.
you, like I even find this personally in my own brand, my own business as a personal trainer where people come to me because they think that I am the expert. Yes, I'm qualified and I'm certified as well as you.
Right.
But we are also students because
Yes.
we see so many different kinds of people with so many different needs.
Yes.
And we also always have to keep learning and adapting, and finding new ways to teach. And like I said, meeting people's unique needs.
Right. Absolutely. I feel that I'm addicted to school. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure if this is unhealthy, but I love school. So my education started at York, where I got my undergrad.
Same here.
Right? Yay! Go Lions. Um, yeah, so it started there, and then I moved on from there, and I said I need more. I need to upskill. I that's what led me to teaching English. So I said, okay, let's do this. I went to Centennial and I got my certification there, and I said, you know what? After talking to some people there, this is not enough. I need more. So I got my adult education degree from Brock. So I'm always learning, and even now I'm connecting with other teachers from all over the world, and just getting tips and ideas on how to teach different classes, what challenges students are having with this pronouncing the letter R, for example, and what things we're doing to support them. So it's really interesting. It's a nice community, and I'm really enjoying my learning journey, and whether it be teaching, or learning about how to conduct my business and be the best I can be for my students.
Absolutely. How did you initially start to gather your clients? Like, were you connected to another organization that sort of like filtered clients in, or was this all, referral based?
So my clients, I got off of Kijiji.
Wow.
Yes. So I just honestly, I was at a point where um, I finished school.
Yeah.
I had my degrees, right? I had my certifications. I'm ready to go. I'm applying for different roles, different schools to teach at. I had an adult education that would degree that would give me the ability to do different things within my full-time role, but getting, I wasn't fitting. I wasn't finding anything that really fit.
Right.
So I said to myself, okay, I have this paper here. I have a lot of student debt here. I have a passion and a purpose. I need to do something with it. So my easiest way of being able to connect with people was Kijiji, and that's what I used, and that's what's brought me here. From there, it's been word of mouth, um, referrals, and yeah, that's how everything's kind of got started.
That's incredible. You literally just took the bull by the horns and you took it upon yourself. And you're like, if I can't find something out in the traditional way, I'm not saying that
Yeah,
he's not traditional, but I think when you put yourself out there in that regard, you're really taking the initiative. You're really putting it upon yourself to
yeah,
say, like, I am going to be in control of this.
yeah.
And I really, really admire that.
Right. Thank you.
That's
But it's yeah, it's like if you're doing all the right things, you know you have the skills, you know you have the knowledge, you know you have the passion and the drive to do it, the desire. Um, I always feel that everything happens in divine order. That's my saying. As
yeah.
I learned that. And the doors were closing or they weren't open wide enough for me. They're open a little bit, but not to my satisfaction. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna make my own door and walk through it.
I love
And
that.
yeah, so that's what I did. I took a chance. I was scared,
Mhm.
really, really scared.
Right.
um, but it worked, and it's still working, and it's really good. I'm really enjoying
Good.
it.
So
Yeah.
this is full time for you.
The teaching
Yes.
is part time.
Okay.
Yes. So teaching I do as my baby, my other baby.
Your other baby. We'll talk about the other baby in a
I'll
second.
talk about the other baby later. Yeah. So this is my baby. And this one I do uh primarily on the weekends is
Okay.
my client's schedule. So I work around my client schedules. They like to see me on the weekends.
Awesome. And
Yeah,
do you have a 9 to 5
I
on top
do.
of?
I do have a
That's
nine
how
to
we got to
five.
do it.
Yeah, so I work at my 9 to 5, and I do what I got to do. I show up, put on my best face, and I love, honestly, the job I do. I really do love it. I also get to help people to a certain degree as well. Um, and I get to talk to people all over Canada. So it's really nice. Coworkers are amazing and funny, and and they're great. But yeah, that's my main bread and butter, and my teaching is my passion project.
Yeah. It's one of those things where uh, it's a must. It's almost a
Yeah.
must that when you do start your own business, even if it's something that you just want to keep on the side or do part time, or you want to go full time with it eventually,
Hmm.
there's got to be a 9 to 5, or there's got to be something else supplementing to really help pay the bills while you build your passion,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
how are you finding that? So let's talk about your two babies here. So you have a daughter.
I do. I
You
have a
have your
daughter.
you have your passion. You have your
Yes.
passion baby, and then you have a full time job.
Yes.
How
How?
how do you make it all work?
I don't know. With a lot of help.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest to you. I'm a single mom.
yeah,
So I have a 10-year-old, and she's fantastic. I love her to death.
She's so sweet.
She's my heart. And yeah, she keeps me on my toes. She's smart. Oh my goodness. She's smart. She's funny. I'm a parent. All kids, like their parents say that their kids are smart and funny. Mine is smart and funny. Okay.
You can be biased all you want.
Yeah, she's awesome. But yeah, I couldn't have done any of this without the support of my family. It would not have been possible at all. So for anyone who is thinking about starting a business, if you're a single parent especially, and you don't know how you're going to do it, you need a solid support system, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, because that's what's got me through a lot of things. Babysitters, key, and also making sure that you're spending time with your child. My daughter will tell me, Mom, like, we haven't hung out together. Like, what are we going to do? Yeah. So you have to be able to make sure that you have that time for them during the day and on the weekends, where it's just you and your kid, or you and your children, whatever the situation may be.
Yeah. I was talking about this in a previous episode, but sometimes your support system doesn't always have to be your family. It's amazing to have your family as that support system, but family can look like so many different things. Because I know some listeners will say, well, I don't have, like, my family's really not in a position to help me. Mm-hmm. Family can look like all sorts of things. Like you mentioned, a babysitter, friends, neighbors that can help in any sort of way. Like, you can create your own family.
Absolutely. I consider my doctors, my dentist, these are all my support people. Even when my daughter was much younger, when she started daycare, I didn't potty train my daughter. Daycare potty trained my daughter.
Go daycare.
Right. I loved this. I honestly, to the bottom of my heart, this is the best daycare I ever sent my daughter to. It was the easiest transition for me for potty training. It's you're never alone. It takes a village, as they say, right? But yeah, friends are great. Friends are supportive. Most of my friends are teachers, so they get me, and they encourage me. So the support comes in so many different ways.
That's so important. Just what you said right there is that they get you, they support you, you share similar vibes, similar understanding. I also come from a single parent household, but my mom also had that familial support. Mm-hmm. And I remember her saying this to me constantly with, it takes a village. It really does.
Yeah.
It really does. I think we get lost sometimes in this individualistic perspective or approach that we take in North America, where, you're in it for yourself. You're on this path on your own. Yeah. And really, that doesn't have to be the case.
Right. It doesn't. And it is, like you said, it's a very North American concept. So a lot of people who I've interacted with, whether it be my students or otherwise, some people will say to me, I don't understand. Why is it just you by yourself? Where's your family? Where are your people? Right? Where are your people to rely on? And it is really important to have them around. And some people, they just don't have it. Right. And through no fault of their own, it's not there. And it does make things a lot more difficult, unfortunately.
Absolutely. But like we said, you can find family in any which way.
Anywhere.
Doesn't have to be blood related.
Nope.
And you can find family in things like a podcast, a YouTube channel, a TV show. I know a ton of people who really relate to some of these talk shows, whether it be like it used to be Oprah Winfrey,
Yes.
or Ellen, and that's where
Yes.
they find their sense of comfort and their sense of family. So
Absolutely.
as we continue to sort of develop in this more technological world, like I said, you can find family anywhere, virtually or in person.
Yeah. Facebook is great as well. If you can find a Facebook group, you have a fantastic Facebook group, right? So it's anywhere. You can even go on, oh, what is it called now? Meetup.
Yeah.
Meetup used to be where you'd go out and spend time with people who have common interests with you. Now everything's virtual, so you can still do a meetup, but a virtual meetup, right? So
Absolutely.
you can find them. People are out there. People want to connect, especially during this time. People want to connect with other people.
Absolutely. I think that's
Yeah.
so important what you said right there. There's so many different apps that are also coming out too. There's a new app called Clubhouse.
Yes.
I think it's just available to Apple or iPhone, iPhone users at the moment,
Yeah.
where you can start chats. So if you're an expert in your field, you can start a chat and it's just audio and you can join any kind of chat based on a certain subject matter.
Yes.
I just heard about another one today called Discord. Same idea. You can find it on your Android phone, and same idea. You can join different conversations based on your interests. So
fantastic.
The sky is the limit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're separated, but we can still get together.
Absolutely. Right. Okay, Laura, I'm going to take you through the lightning round, the last section of our session together.
Okay, let's go.
All right. So this is like lightning round. So to the point, try to keep it, a word or two, max a sentence.
Okay.
So first question is daily routine. What does your day look like?
Daily routine is I wake up, I say my prayers, I look over my schedule, get my little princess ready for the day. Let's just start working, start grinding, and evening time is just connecting, relaxing, working.
Awesome. Very important.
Yes.
Very important to schedule me time.
Yes. Dancing sometimes. I tried soca size the other day. It did not go well. I learned that I don't have rhythm.
That's okay.
When it comes to soca, at least. Maybe others, but I'm working on it.
I feel it. I have also done soca size. One of my good friends is a soca size instructor.
Oh, wow.
And you know what? It's not so much. I will say there is some rhythm there.
Yes.
But it's the fear and it's the shyness that I have when it comes to dancing and expressing myself in that way.
Yes. Yeah. I can get that. I dance to the beat of my own drum. Like I do whatever I want to do. I don't like instruction. I just want to dance.
That's what makes you a good mom. What makes you a good business owner? Go to the beat of your own drum. All right, next question. One thing you want your daughter to hopefully take away from you being your own boss.
Ooh. Just follow your heart. Follow your passion.
Yeah.
Go with what drives you. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. No one can tell you what your vision is or tell you what to do, because only you can see your vision for yourself. So don't let anybody put you off track to do something else when it's your vision. It's not theirs. It's not theirs to know. It's not theirs to see. It's only for you.
One.
Yeah.
Such a good one. Yeah. I think we were raised in, and again, I mentioned this in another episode, we were raised in a generation where it was like, you graduate from school, you find a job, you get that mortgage, you get that house, get the job with the pension, the health benefit, and you're set to go.
Yeah.
But I love that approach that you have. Follow your heart, follow your dreams.
Yeah.
It's her life.
Yeah. I'd love to live it for her, but actually, no. I already have a full-time life right here. My plate is full.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
live your life. I'm just here to guide you, and if you need my help, I'll be there, right? That's
absolutely.
my job.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
One thing you feel like you couldn't do without when starting your business? Like one thing that was like a must that you did that you felt was super crucial in starting your business?
Oh, I had to have the desire. It was not going to work if I didn't have the desire, the drive to do it.
Hmm.
That's it. Money, I went on Kijiji, right? I took the skills I had and I went with it. Um, you need the drive, you need the passion. You have to have that desire, that heart, or else it's not going to work.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
realized too, you need to have the patience. Like sometimes you
Yes.
won't necessarily find your passion at such a young age. I found mine in my late 20s.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
at a point I was at a point where I was like, I'm never going to find something that I really love. So
Yeah.
I might as well just do what makes me money,
Right.
uh, and make
Right.
others in my life happy.
Yeah, that's the my sister would say that's the millennial vision, that we need to uh, find a job that brings us purpose, right?
Yes.
That's the millennial mindset, right? And I completely agree with her. I want to do something that brings me purpose. Yes, the money is nice. Um, yes, the pensions are nice and all that great stuff, but at the end of the day, is this bringing me joy, right? And if it's not bringing me joy, I need to find something else in my life that will bring me joy, or a job in or another career that's going to bring me joy. So this is my this is my passion project. This is my second baby, my second born.
Oh,
So
so exciting. So
yeah,
exciting. Well, thank you so much, Laura, for coming on and sharing your story.
no
Where
problem.
can people find you?
Uh, Good question. Right now, I told you I'm a starter. So right now, you can find me on lauraslanguagelounge.com. I'm there.
Perfect.
I'm also somewhere on Instagram. I think it is uh, Laura underscore language underscore lounge. I believe that's my handle.
Perfect.
But definitely the website. Definitely. Yes.
Laura, and before you log in, say Laura's language lounge 5 times fast.
Laura's Language Lounge, 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 Laura's Language Lounge. Should I do it?
You did. And on that note, thank you so much. I'm so
Problem.
excited for the future of your business. I'm so excited that
Me
I got to
too.
learn more about your business.
Excellent. Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I want to definitely have you on again to
Yes.
get a little bit of a follow up, of an update as to where business is at, and how things have maybe changed, or maybe they won't change after things start to, open up and some of these pandemic rules start to
Yes.
become a little bit more lax.
Yes. That would
So I'd
be
love
very
to do that.
interesting. Absolutely. Sounds
All
great.
right. Have yourself a great night.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.